have a display. Came back, we were 28%. That's not very good. So we said, all right, everybody knows now we're tracking. So next time we have an ad, which is about 2 weeks down the road, we're going to put another check mark and see if we make any improvement. We went from 28% to 52%. It was pretty good progress just by putting a check mark by a store. Then we said that's not good enough. If you can't get a display, come back and get your immediate supervisor, and he will go with you to help you secure that display. And part of that was teaching and learning, because the supervisor should have a little more experience and should be able to teach or educate. So we got up to 87%. Pretty good progress, but we're not there yet. So we said, you and your supervisor can't get it. Sales manager's next. He's got to go with you. So now we're up to 96%. And I said, guys, we're at the threshold, but we haven't made it. So if you can't get it this time, you three, I get to go with you. Well, guess what? Nobody wanted me to go with them because they got to 100%. So I missed out on that exercise. But that was a teaching and learning moment. Now we got the display in the store. What do we have to do now? We've got to move to the long-term goal, and that is we want certain things on that display, and we want that display to be a certain size. So we started working on the next step in that progress. And all the time, we're emphasizing the personal growth that takes place in that. Business planning. You've got to have a business plan. How many of you have a business plan? How many of you know what your business plan is? How many of you helped write your business plan? Because that's very important. Obviously, it's a list of steps and the timing and the resources needed. What we would do, we'd go in and we found some of these places never even operated with a business plan. It was basically go out in the marketplace and sell your goods was the plan. So we introduced the business plans, and what we asked everybody in the organization to write down 1 or 2 thoughts on a piece of paper and present it to your immediate supervisor. And we asked the immediate supervisors eventually to come to a meeting, and we're going to talk about all the plans that everybody has submitted. Some of them, obviously, we're going to look at real carefully. Some of them we're going to adopt. But we built the business plans from the bottom up. So now, when we talk to somebody about execution of plans, guess what? It's not my plan, it's their plan. So that was our process to build a business plan. It was an annual plan. It was a gospel. We had to live by it. And then number 3 is we had to execute it. We broke it down into months. We broke it down into weeks. We broke it down into days. We broke it down into individuals. So we made it very, very specific. Now, when we would walk into an organization, one of the first things we had to do was try to identify all the characters that were in there. And you guys have been there. You can look at them. There's the Linda Ronstadts in there that said, oh, poor pitiful me. I got more work than I can ever do. I'm working from can to can and just can't get everything done. You got the Einsteins that knew everything and so forth down the line. Well, what we wanted to do was change their thought process as best we can. The Linda Ronstadts, we had to deal with the fact that this is your job, this is your responsibility, you're accountable for it. How do we make that take? And if you are incapable of doing the job, then we have to find something else in the company for you. Now, one thing I'm very proud of, and all the changeovers that I did, which were somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 or 60 changeovers, we never ever fired anybody. And there's so many people that walk in today and say, okay, we're going to change the operation, and everybody that's got a job, take a step forward. Not so fast. Some of you don't have one. Well, we didn't eliminate anybody in the process. What we tried to do was educate and bring them into the system. And we knew that there were personalities that we were going to have to deal with. But guess what they're doing? While we're evaluating them, guess what they're doing? They're looking at us. What are you saying? What are you doing? and how are you acting? So it's an identification of both ourselves and the whole operation that we were dealing with. To me, this is one of the most important things that took place. We had to establish a culture. And that meant that we are going to work to have shared attitudes, values, goals, practices that characterize our group. And the reason for that is if you're going to be a team, everything has got to be visible. Everybody's got to see everybody else participating and doing the right things. Here's what's needed to establish culture. You need a commitment. When I would walk into an operation, people would say, Jerry, how long are you going to be here for? And I said, I would always answer them, I made a commitment to be here forever. Now, I'm not the one that's going to determine how long forever is. Somebody else is going to make that determination. But I made that commitment, and I'll commit it to everybody in that organization. I'm there to work hard. I'm there to be there as long as I possibly can and make it go forward. Integrity. If you're not honest and straightforward with people, then you know what's going to happen. It's going to fall apart. So we made sure that we gave very concise, very correct, and honorable answers. Communication, the breakdown of every organization, right? Now we tweet, we Twitter, we whatever, what all those things that we do. Yeah, we do all that social networking. But let me tell you what, the communication is the most important part of anything. Everybody has to know where everybody is, and everybody has to be on the same page. That's what the culture is all about. Teamwork, I really stress that, and I stress that for two reasons. Number one, I played football in college for a team that won one football game, lost 8 football games, and tied 1 football game. 1-8-1, not a very admirable record, but I tell everybody it's the best lesson I ever got in my life. That we've been national champions, we'd be walking around beating on our chest saying how great we are. We had to figure out what we're doing wrong, what's happening, what's not happening, who is a team member, who's not a team member. I learned more on that 1-8-1 team than I ever would have on any other team. And by the way, that's the mighty Gamecocks from the University of South Carolina, in case anybody was wondering. some guy named Spurrier's up there now. I wish he would have been there then. But anyway, we were good at losing. I'll tell you one quick story. We were at the University of Nebraska. I think the final score may have been 38-0 or something like that. And I tell everybody that during that game, we only threatened one time. And that was at halftime. We threatened not to go out for the second half because we were getting our butts kicked. But anyway, excellence means that you try to do the best you possibly can in everything that you do. And you as a manager know this. The rate of execution that you accept becomes the norm. If you set the rail high and expect good performance, you will get that. If you just set the rail low and expect that, that's what you will get. So I stressed fun. I put a little star by fun because one thing that I will tell you, that if you're going to work as hard as you work, and I know every one of you in here has to work hard, and there's a lot of obstacles to overcome. If you're going to work that hard, you might as well have fun doing it. And I tried to make it a game. I've tried to make it as much fun for everybody. I tried to make it as much fun for me. I will tell you today, I never went to work a day in my life. I had that much fun doing the things that I did. Gratitude, we would not leave. If we had a meeting like this, the last thing that we would say to everybody is thank you for what you do for the company. Thank you for what you do to make us successful. We appreciate what you're doing. So we showed our gratitude, and it paid off in dividends. Oops, what happened? Oh my goodness. I don't care what kind of plan you put together. I don't care how hard you execute. I don't care what you do. At some point in time, the train's going to jump off the track. There's going to be an issue somewhere. How many of you started a diet January the 1st? I know you won't tell on yourself. Some people did, and guess what? I'm always on a diet. But you started a diet January 1st, and what happened? Something came up. It may have been an apple pie. It may have been something else, but something came up that basically took your attention off of that diet. Oh, one extra biscuit won't matter. One extra slice of this won't matter. So I will tell you, no matter what kind of plan you put together, there's going to be an interruption somewhere down the road. How you react to that is also going to determine some of your quality in performance and execution and results. Now, I ask you to put together your dots. This is basically the answer, and what I will tell you, if you look at the top line, you got dot number 1, number 2, number 3, and there is no dot number 4, but we did what? We went outside of the box. Then we came down and got number 3 on the second line and number 2 on the fourth line. So how many of you got it right? All right. You got a prize for me. You're, oh, never mind. The dot number 4 is over in those. But anyway, we'll give him a prize anyway. You play tennis or golf? Both? Okay, we'll give you both prizes. I gave him some memoirs that I'm starting up, and one of them is how to never lose playing golf, and the other one's how to never lose playing tennis, and it's worked every time for me. You want to share it with them?
Yeah, I've never played tennis with anyone better than you.
There you go. So if you don't play with anybody better than you, guess what? You're never going to lose. So.
Golf is probably the same.
Yeah, golf is the same thing. All right. I'm to the point now that I will take any questions. And again, hopefully we said something that you can take with you. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if you need to contact me in any way, there's some information up there. I got a Facebook, I got a Twitter, I got a LinkedIn, I got an email. So I can be contacted if you want to write that down, because planning is one of my fortes, and I plan to forget my cards today. If you will do one thing, write this down. Google 212, the extra degree, and check that on Google. It's a 3-minute video, and I promise you that it will add some thought and some purpose to your life. I get nothing for it. Just want you to check it out. You enjoy your lunch. Thank you very much, and I do appreciate the time with you. You know what? I don't remember I work out of it now for a period of time, the last 5 years.